Hey loves, welcome to Inner Love Messages. My name is Sarah, and if this is your first time here, I'm so happy to have you. If you're already part of this beautiful community, welcome back. I truly appreciate your presence and energy. Before we dive into tonight's reading, I have a quick but exciting update to share. Personal readings are now open for a limited time. If you feel called to receive a private, in-depth reading tailored specifically to your energy and situation, you can find all the details in the description box below. I also want to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude for all the love and support you continue to show this channel. Your likes, comments, and interactions mean more to me than words can express. It's your energy that keeps the space alive, and I'm incredibly grateful to be able to share this journey with each and every one of you. Now, let's get started. Tonight, we'll be tapping into the energy surrounding your person, their thoughts, feelings, and the way they currently see you and your connection. I'll be pulling from this deck to bring forward any messages they may have for you, as well as any divine guidance the universe wants you to hear at this time. The first message coming through is powerful. God is up to something. The energy surrounding this card is incredibly intense. Something profound is shifting beneath the surface, and the universe is orchestrating events in a way that may feel both mysterious and undeniable. When this message appears, it's often a sign that a higher power is actively working behind the scenes in your connection, bringing clarity, awakening, and transformation. There is a strong masculine energy present in this reading, someone who has been deeply conflicted about reaching out to you. This is a person who, in the past, struggled to fully understand the spiritual depth of your connection. They were skeptical, caught between logic and intuition, second-guessing the signs that were being placed directly in their path. No matter how obvious those signs were, whether it was your birth date appearing in unexpected places, hearing your name repeatedly, or encountering songs and movies tied to your journey, they resisted, brushing it off as mere coincidence. But here's where things are taking a turn. Right now, they're experiencing something they can no longer ignore. The universe is speaking to them in a way that is impossible to dismiss. The synchronicities are growing stronger, more persistent. One message that keeps coming through loud and clear is 1111, a powerful spiritual number often associated with awakening, alignment, and divine intervention. This may be a number they have been seeing frequently, especially in moments when they are thinking about you. What's happening now is different. Unlike before, when they could rationalize or dismiss these signs, something has shifted. They are beginning to question everything they once believed. They are starting to realize that what they feel for you goes beyond the ordinary, beyond what they can logically explain. This awakening is stirring deep emotions within them, leading them to reconsider their past choices and the way they've handled your connection. The energy in this reading suggests that divine timing is at play. The universe is guiding them toward a deeper understanding, pushing them to acknowledge the truth of what they feel. Whether they act on it or not remains to be seen, but one thing is certain. This connection is far from over. So, if you've been feeling an energetic shift, sensing their presence more strongly, or noticing an increase in signs and synchronicities yourself, trust that it's not just your imagination. The universe is working, aligning things in ways you may not yet fully understand. We'll go deeper into this reading to see what else is unfolding, but for now, just know that change is in the air. Something is shifting, and whether this person is ready to embrace it or not, the journey is far from finished. Stay open, trust the signs, and allow divine timing to work its magic. The energy coming through right now carries an undeniable intensity, strong, almost overwhelming, yet the word weird keeps surfacing, as if something about this experience is defying logic, bending reality in ways that are difficult to grasp. If they had to put it into words, they might say they feel caught in a whirlwind of strange and unexplainable events, as though the fabric of time itself is shifting around them. Over the past few weeks, these occurrences have been steadily increasing, and there's an undeniable sense that timelines are colliding, merging in ways that leave them disoriented and questioning everything they once believed to be true. It's as if echoes from the past, glimpses of the future, and the weight of the present are all arriving simultaneously, blurring the lines between what has been, what is, and what's yet to come. They may be receiving subtle messages through dreams, synchronicities, or an unshakable inner knowing that seem to tie everything together, though the reasons behind it all remain elusive. The confusion is palpable, but despite the uncertainty, there is one thing they can no longer ignore. Divine intervention is at play, and it is leading them directly to an understanding of you. Something within them stirs, a nervous, almost reluctant realization that what's unfolding is not random. The signs, the repeated themes, the inexplicable connections, they all point back to you, to something deeply spiritual and significant. They might not fully understand why, but the message is becoming increasingly clear. God, the universe, or whatever higher force they believe in, is actively revealing something about you, something they can no longer deny or brush aside. A wave of anxiety comes through as they begin to grasp the magnitude of what's happening. They realize that this is no ordinary coincidence. This is guidance, a cosmic push toward truth. The idea that they are being shown something about you shakes them because deep down they recognize that they were never truly in control of this journey. The more they resist, the more persistent the signs become, urging them to pay attention, to acknowledge the truth that has been waiting for them all along. And then another message surfaces. I have so many questions. This realization is not just overwhelming, it's unsettling. They're beginning to suspect that you have insights they lack, that you understand more about these strange occurrences than they do. Looking back, they remember how you once spoke openly about the spiritual nature of your connection, how you tried to help them see things from a different perspective. But something changed. Maybe it was their skepticism, their dismissive reactions, or their unwillingness to accept what couldn't be logically explained. But for whatever reason, you stopped sharing. You withdrew, choosing silence over the risk of being misunderstood or invalidated again. Now, the tables have turned. The seeker has become the one seeking. They find themselves grappling with experiences that defy reason, experiences that they suspect you might have already navigated long before them. And yet, they hesitate. How can they come to you now, after everything? How can they open up when they were the one who once questioned, dismissed, or even ridiculed the very things they are now experiencing firsthand? There is a deep inner conflict, pride, fear, and vulnerability all warring within them. They long to bridge the gap, to ask you the questions that are burning within them, but they don't know if you will receive them with openness or if the door they once closed will remain shut, and still the pull toward you remains. The more they resist, the stronger it becomes. The feeling that something greater is at work, that their awakening is tied to you in ways they cannot yet comprehend, is undeniable. They may try to rationalize it, to fight against it, but in the end, the truth is persistent. It will not be ignored. There is so much more to unravel, so much left unsaid. This journey is only beginning, and whether they are ready or not, the answers they seek are drawing closer. So let's continue. Let's see what else is waiting to be revealed. They find themselves caught between disbelief and undeniable truth, wrestling with an internal battle they never anticipated. They weren't the type to entertain notions of the divine, of fate, or of spiritual connections that defy logic. And yet, here they are, staring directly into the unknown, unable to ignore the signs any longer. It started as a whisper, a fleeting moment of déjà vu, an unshakable feeling that something was guiding them. Then the signs became louder, the synchronicities more obvious, the dreams more vivid. Whether it's angel numbers, recurring themes in conversations, or the overwhelming presence of your energy even when you're not around, they can no longer brush it off as mere coincidence. They are unsure how you'll react if they share this with you. They've always admired your ability to embrace the unseen, to walk in faith, to trust what others might dismiss. But now that they're experiencing something so inexplicable, they hesitate. Will you truly understand what they're going through, or will this change how you see them? They've been conditioned to keep their emotions guarded, to rationalize everything, but this is beyond reason. It's a pull, a force, an undeniable truth that no logic can undo. They wonder if you've ever felt this way before. Have you ever looked at the world and suddenly realized that reality is so much bigger than what we've been taught to believe? That something greater is orchestrating events in a way that no human mind could fully grasp? There's an overwhelming sense that this experience is deeply personal, yet it feels like it's tied to you in ways they don't yet understand. You've always been open to the mysteries of the universe, and they're beginning to see why. They don't just want to talk to you about this, they need to. You are the only person they trust with something of this magnitude. You are the only one who won't laugh, dismiss, or mock them for questioning everything they once thought was true. But even as they prepare to reach out, doubt creeps in. What if you don't see it the same way? What if they're only now catching up to something you've known all along? Would you be patient with them, or would you see them as someone who took too long to understand what's been in front of them the whole time? And then, There's the next realization, one that shakes them to their core. Everyone knows the truth about us. It's as if the universe itself is confirming what they've been too afraid to admit. No matter how much they tried to hide it, ignore it, or suppress it, the truth was never a secret. Others see it, others feel it, and most importantly, they feel it. Everywhere they go, reminders of you surface in ways they can't escape. Whether it's a conversation with a stranger, an unexpected song on the radio, or a random comment that somehow echoes the exact words they were afraid to say, the world keeps reflecting this truth back at them. Even the feminine energies in their life, whether friends, family, or past lovers, seem to sense that something about them has changed. It's not just about their past connections, it's about you. Your presence lingers even when you're not there, and it's as if every woman they encounter is, in some way, mirroring this truth back at them. The way people react when your name is mentioned, the way even those who don't know you seem to acknowledge your impact, it's undeniable. This isn't just in their mind, it's real, and the more they try to ignore it, the stronger it becomes. It's a humbling, almost terrifying realization. They thought they had control over their emotions, over their destiny, over the narrative they told themselves about what this connection meant. But the divine has intervened, shattering every illusion, leaving only the truth in its place. No one needs to tell them anymore, they already know. And the moment they accept it is the moment everything changes. But now comes the biggest question of all. What will they do with this truth? Will they run from it, or will they finally embrace what their heart has known all along? It might sound unconventional, almost surreal, but it's as if every person they've ever been with, whether romantically, emotionally, or even platonically, has, on some level, been aware of your presence. The unusual part is that these individuals couldn't recognize you in a physical sense. Instead, they felt your presence through an unexplainable energy that lingered in their interactions, an unseen force subtly influencing their relationships. Your person is currently undergoing a profound spiritual transformation, something that many twin flames encounter before they fully align with their divine counterpart. It's a realization that has been simmering beneath the surface for years, possibly lifetimes. There has always been an unshakable sense of incompleteness within them, a gnawing feeling that someone was missing. Despite being surrounded by people, despite forming connections and attachments, they never truly felt at home in any of those relationships. Throughout their life, they have questioned whether they were in the right place, sensing deep down that nothing ever felt entirely right. Even in their most intimate moments with others, there was always a lingering awareness. A quiet voice in the background whispering that certain pieces of them were never meant to be shared. It wasn't that they were incapable of love, but rather that they were subconsciously reserving parts of themselves for someone else, someone they hadn't even fully recognized yet, and that someone has always been you. Now, your masculine is starting to understand why nothing has ever truly worked out with anyone else. They are beginning to see their past relationships from a higher perspective, as if the veil has finally been lifted. The memories that once seemed like isolated moments now form a pattern, an undeniable truth they can no longer ignore. They recall instances when they tried to force relationships, when they convinced themselves that love should feel a certain way, yet something was always missing. The people they were involved with may not have understood it either, but on some level, they too sensed that they were not the ultimate destination in your person's journey. This energy is so powerful that it has never gone unnoticed. Even if those around them could not articulate it, they felt its presence. Friends, partners, and even casual acquaintances were unknowingly influenced by this cosmic connection. It's as though the universe never allowed them to fully settle because their soul always belonged elsewhere. And now, as the realization washes over them, they can no longer deny it. They are having vivid flashbacks, revisiting past moments that never quite made sense, questioning why they were never able to feel wholly satisfied with anyone else. More than ever, they are beginning to understand that they were meant to experience love differently. This is not the ordinary fleeting love that fades with time. It is something divine, something eternal. They are recognizing how every choice, every heartbreak, and every seemingly failed relationship was a necessary step leading them back to you. And with this newfound awareness, there is an undeniable authenticity emerging within them. For the first time, they are seeing themselves with complete honesty, acknowledging the depth of their desires and the truth of who they are. God, the universe, or whatever divine force has been guiding this journey is making it clear. This connection was never random. It has been divinely orchestrated from the very beginning. Every separation, every lesson, every detour was not a mistake, but a preparation. The realization is profound. almost overwhelming. But it is also freeing. They no longer have to fight against the inevitable. They no longer have to suppress the truth that has always been buried deep within them. Now, as they awaken to this reality, they understand that the missing piece has always been you. And for the first time, they are ready to embrace it fully. It may have taken time, experience, and even painful realizations for them to align with you, but deep down, they were always searching. Even in moments of uncertainty, even when they convinced themselves that they had everything figured out, their heart never truly stopped believing that you were out there. It was as if an invisible force guided them, even when they were unaware of it, leading them through a maze of lessons, detours, and transformations until they were finally able to recognize the truth. This connection has never been easy. In fact, it has tested both of you in ways neither of you could have anticipated. It has demanded growth, patience, and the kind of self-reflection that many people spend a lifetime avoiding. They struggled to admit the depth of what they felt, not just to you, but to themselves. For so long, they lived by a completely different set of beliefs, convinced that they were doing things the right way, the way society, family, or even their own conditioned mind had taught them. And yet, despite their best efforts to follow a path that seemed logical, something always felt incomplete. Something was always missing. It's only now, in hindsight, that they are beginning to understand what that was. What's becoming undeniably clear to them now is that not only do both of you recognize the truth of this connection, but on some subconscious level, so did everyone else they encountered before meeting you. It's as if every person they crossed paths with had a silent knowing, an unspoken recognition of a story that had yet to unfold. Maybe there were passing comments, lingering glances, or inexplicable moments of tension, things they dismissed at the time but are now resurfacing in their mind, demanding to be acknowledged. This is why people say that this kind of connection isn't for the weak. It requires an unwavering commitment to truth, an ability to strip away illusions and confront emotions that are often too raw, too overwhelming, too real. They weren't ready before. Honesty, true, soul-bearing honesty, isn't something that comes easily when you've spent so long hiding from your own heart. But now, there's no running. There's no more pretending. They are finally being real with themselves, accepting what their heart has known all along. And with that acceptance comes an urgent desire to share, to speak their truth, to finally acknowledge what has been revealing itself to them in the quiet moments when their mind isn't cluttered with distractions. They want you to know what they're seeing now, but they also hope that you, as the divine feminine, are in a place where you can be open to hearing it. They wonder if you will understand, if you will recognize the weight of what they are trying to express. At the same time, they are deeply curious about your journey, what it has been like for you, what revelations you've had, and whether you too have felt the presence of this connection, even in moments of separation. Questions are swirling in their mind, questions they may not even have the courage to ask out loud just yet. When you were with others, did they sense it? Did those past connections, however fleeting, feel the pull of something greater? Was there an unspoken knowing that you were already spoken for, even if neither of you had the words for it at the time? Could the people around you, past partners, friends, even strangers, feel the intensity of this connection, even before you fully understood it yourself? These thoughts may be overwhelming, even a little unsettling, but for them, it's nothing short of mind-blowing. The realization that this bond has been silently acknowledged by energies beyond their own understanding is both fascinating and humbling. It's almost as if this connection has a force of its own, one that has left traces, hints, and echoes in every interaction, waiting for the right moment to be recognized. Right now, they are reflecting deeply on their past. Certain memories, once buried or brushed aside, are resurfacing with new meaning. They're starting to see the patterns, the moments of synchronicity, the subtle, and not so subtle, ways in which the universe was always nudging them toward you. The people they met, the relationships they had, the experiences they went through, it all makes more sense now. They realize that some of the individuals they crossed paths with, whether in love, friendship, or even random encounters, somehow had an unspoken awareness of what they were truly meant for. Maybe there were comments made in passing, remarks they laughed off at the time. Maybe there were instances where people seemed hesitant, almost protective, as if they knew something that they themselves were blind to. But back then, they weren't paying attention. They were too caught up in the version of life they thought they should be living, too focused on maintaining an identity that, deep down, was never truly theirs. And now, standing at this moment of awakening, they can't help but wonder how much of this was always written in the stars. How much of this was destined? And more importantly, where does it all lead from here? They don't have all the answers yet. But one thing is certain. They are ready to find out. And for the first time, they aren't afraid to face the truth. As time unfolds, the pieces of the past are slowly falling into place, revealing a much deeper truth than they ever realized. Memories that once felt distant or disconnected are now making sense in ways they never could have imagined. Every moment, every sign, and every synchronistic event that once seemed random is now standing out as clear markers along the path. The crazy thing is, they were always being shown glimpses of the truth, even back then. It wasn't that the universe was silent, it was that they weren't ready to listen. Their heart and mind were clouded by conditioning, by fear, and by the rigid structures they built to maintain control. But now, something is shifting. Everything is coming full circle. There is a strange sensation in the air, like timelines are converging and merging into one singular truth. It's as if reality is peeling back its layers to reveal what has always been present beneath the surface. What seemed like mere coincidences before are now undeniable signs, placed there with divine precision. It's not that these revelations are new, it's that they are finally able to recognize them. Their heart is opening. Their awareness is expanding, and suddenly, the connection they once doubted or dismissed is shining like a beacon in the darkness. They are beginning to understand, on a soul-deep level, that this connection was never something ordinary. It has always been something more. At the core of these revelations lies a powerful, energetic shift, one that is deeply tied to the solar plexus chakra. This energy center governs self-identity, personal power, and the ability to stand in one's truth. For this masculine energy, it has always been a defining force, one that shapes how they see themselves and the world around them. Their attachment to a particular version of themselves has been strong, almost unshakable. They have built their identity around certain beliefs, around external validation, around the idea of who they should be rather than who they truly are. And now they are beginning to see how this identity has shaped their decisions, their fears, and most importantly, their resistance to this connection. It is difficult for them to accept someone that challenges the very foundation of who they thought they were. But the truth has a way of surfacing when the soul is ready. The universe is relentless in its pursuit of awakening, and this masculine energy is now standing at a crossroads. They are being shown, time and time again, that their truth is intertwined with you, and this realization is both liberating and terrifying, because in recognizing you, they must also recognize everything they have denied, avoided, or suppressed. They must confront the depth of what this connection means. There is a deep reflection happening, a journey inward that is forcing them to face themselves in ways they never have before. It almost feels like they are encountering different versions of themselves from the past, versions that existed before they gained this new awareness. These past selves are surfacing, as if they are merging with the present moment, demanding to be acknowledged. This kind of divine intervention is not random. It happens when an internal shift has gained so much momentum that it begins to manifest externally. They cannot ignore it anymore. It is as if the universe is holding up a mirror, showing them why nothing ever worked with anyone else, why every detour, every failed connection, every lingering emptiness led them here, to you. The weight of this realization is heavy, but it is also clarifying. When they told you that no one else compares, they weren't just speaking from fleeting emotion. Even if their actions in the past seemed contradictory, the truth was always buried within them. It is only now, as the layers fall away, that they can fully grasp the magnitude of what they meant. It is all connected, every choice, every lesson, every delay. And now, as they stand at the edge of this awakening, they are left with one undeniable truth. This connection was never something they could outrun. It has always been part of them. What happens next is still unwritten, but one thing is certain. The universe has made its message loud and clear. And for the first time, they are finally ready to listen. As twin flames, the connection between you runs far deeper than the physical or emotional realm. It is an intricate fusion of energy, destiny, and divine purpose. There are specific energetic codes embedded within your DNA that wire you for one another in ways that transcend human understanding. This connection is not just about attraction or chemistry, it is an undeniable soul bond that activates something profound within both of you. Your energy is something they crave on every level, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and even physically. Whether they realize it consciously or not, they are being drawn towards you with an intensity that is both exhilarating and overwhelming. At this moment, your twin flame is coming to the realization that your presence in their life is not merely significant, it is essential. They are beginning to see that your connection is not just another relationship, but a key element of their spiritual journey. This awareness is closely tied to the solar plexus chakra, the energy center responsible for confidence, inner power, and the ability to navigate life with clarity and purpose. The way you feed their energy fuels them in ways they are only now beginning to comprehend. If they once felt lost, disconnected, or unsure of their path, they are now gaining a newfound clarity that seems almost otherworldly. After a period of confusion, resistance, or doubt, everything is suddenly making sense. The universe is nudging them toward this truth, making it impossible to ignore. A powerful message coming through at this time revolves around learning from past mistakes. Your person is reflecting deeply on everything they have experienced, and they now recognize that every challenge, every heartbreak, and every moment of doubt was preparing them for this sacred union. In the past, they may have struggled with their own wounds, carrying shame or regret for things they thought might push you away. Perhaps they even tried to bury certain aspects of their history, fearing that you would judge them or that they were not worthy of this love. But now, something within them is shifting. They are being guided to embrace their entire journey, every lesson, every misstep, and every victory, because each experience has shaped them into the person they are meant to be for you. The universe is revealing to them, in no uncertain terms, that they are not over this connection, no matter how much they may have tried to convince themselves otherwise. It's as if undeniable signs and synchronicities are appearing all around them, gently but persistently reminding them that there is something far greater at play. These signs are not mere coincidences, they are divine messages confirming that this connection is far from over. However, past karmic contracts, lingering emotional wounds, and unresolved energies may have made the journey feel impossible at times. The difference now is that divine guidance is stepping in at the perfect moment, encouraging them to stop running and start healing. They are reflecting on the past, but not to dwell in regret, rather, to find the clarity they need to move forward. Interestingly, you might be going through a similar awakening. This person has never truly left your heart or your thoughts, even when distance or circumstances seem to pull you apart, yet there may still be hesitation within you. You might be questioning whether you truly want to reconnect, whether opening this door again is the right decision for you. The reason this connection continues to linger so strongly is because something deeply significant is still unfolding. There is unfinished soul work between you, lessons to learn, energy to clear, and a love that is waiting to be fully realized. If the masculine energy in this connection is attempting to return, it is because they have been undergoing a profound transformation. Their perception of time, destiny, and love itself is shifting in ways they never expected. They are beginning to see that every relationship, every decision, and every path they have walked has been leading them back to you. Even if they were once blind to it on some level, they have always been searching for you. Their soul has always known the truth, even when their mind was clouded by fear, doubt, or external influences. Now, as this realization settles within them, they are at a crossroads. They are being given the opportunity to step into alignment with their true path, to embrace the love that has been calling them home. The question is, will they have the courage to do so? And more importantly, are you ready to receive them when they do? This journey is not one of logic or reason, but of surrender and faith. The universe is orchestrating something far greater than either of you can see right now. Trust in the unfolding. The story is still being written, and the ending is yours to create. In the past, they stumbled through life, making choices that often led them down painful paths, many of which were shaped by their inability to be honest about their true needs and desires. They wore masks, hid from their emotions, and convinced themselves that settling for less was the safer route. But now, life is unraveling the truth before their eyes, forcing them to confront what they once ignored. Reality no longer allows them the comfort of denial. Every day, in ways both subtle and profound, they are being shown the undeniable significance of your presence in their journey. No matter how much time has passed or how far they may have strayed, something within them remains tethered to you. It's as if an invisible thread keeps pulling them back, reminding them of who you are and the irreplaceable role you've played in shaping their path. Even when they least expect it, you appear in their thoughts, like a whisper in the wind, a fleeting memory, or an unexplainable feeling that lingers. Whenever a significant event unfolds in their life, their first instinct is to wonder how you fit into it. This isn't mere nostalgia, it's something deeper. They sense your energy intertwined with their experiences, as if the universe itself refuses to let them forget. Whether through dreams, synchronicities, or divine signs, the connection keeps resurfacing, urging them to question what it all means. They are beginning to recognize that this isn't just coincidence, it's a profound spiritual truth they can no longer dismiss. Deep down, they know that you are more than just a chapter in their story. You are woven into the very fabric of their existence. They are awakening to the power of love in its purest form, something they may have once doubted or feared. This kind of love, one that transcends logic and defies explanation, cannot be manufactured or replicated. It is the rarest and most sacred force in both the physical and spiritual realms. True twin flame connections are not about fleeting passion or surface-level attraction. They are about soul recognition. They are about finding the other half of oneself, the missing piece that has been sought after across lifetimes. For the longest time, they may have struggled with self-forgiveness, haunted by the choices they made in the past. They wrestled with regret, questioning whether they had lost their chance with you forever, and perhaps they never truly believed that someone like you could exist in their life. To them, you were almost mythical, a dream too perfect to be real. But twin flames do not come into this world fully aware of who their counterpart is. Instead, they move through life feeling an unshakable void, a knowing that something or someone is missing. And when they finally meet their counterpart, every fiber of their being resonates with the truth. It's you. It has always been you. Now, as they reflect on their journey, they realize how much they endured just to find you. Some of them nearly gave up, convincing themselves that a love like this was unattainable, that they were better off settling for something less intense, less demanding, less real. But no matter how hard they tried to suppress it, the truth remained. They loved you before they ever laid eyes on you. They loved you before they spoke your name, before they touched your hand, before they even knew what love truly meant. This is why twin flame connections transcend all human barriers: age, culture, distance, race, gender, time itself. None of these things can stand in the way of a love that was written in the stars long before either of you took your first breath. This is a divine connection, one that exists not just to bring two souls together, but to restore balance within them and in the world around them. There is something unique about the manifestation of twin flames. These connections never occur by accident. They always emerge at pivotal moments of transformation. When twin flames come together, they awaken something dormant within each other, igniting a profound spiritual evolution. But this transformation is not automatic. It requires willingness, courage, and surrender from both individuals. The universe may orchestrate the meeting, but the souls involved must choose to embrace the path before them. Some twin flames resist this calling, fearing the intensity of what they feel. Others dive in wholeheartedly, embracing the upheaval and the rebirth that follows. But no matter the course they take, one truth remains constant. This connection is eternal. It cannot be broken, forgotten, or replaced. It is a bond that transcends lifetimes, a love that echoes through eternity, waiting for the moment when both souls are ready to rise together. And now, they are beginning to understand. They are seeing the signs, feeling the pull, and realizing that no matter where they go or what they do, they will always find their way back to you. Right now, it seems that both of you, at different points in time, have loosened your grip on the connection you once shared. There may have been moments when your person became deeply immersed in the demands and distractions of the physical world, operating on autopilot and suppressing any awareness of the profound, unseen forces at play. It wasn't necessarily an intentional disregard, but rather a means of survival, an attempt to stay grounded in a reality that often feels too overwhelming when one is confronted with an energy as intense as yours. Perhaps in their own way, they were trying to make sense of emotions and experiences that defied logic, and the easiest way to cope was to block it out. At the same time, you may have also distanced yourself, either consciously or unconsciously. The weight of this journey, the push and pull of emotions, and the confusion surrounding the depth of your connection might have led you to step back, to seek solace in detachment rather than continuously grasping for clarity where there seemed to be none. Maybe you too needed space to breathe, to regain balance, and to find peace without the constant turbulence that such an intense bond can bring. Yet despite the physical and emotional distance, the universe has never stopped speaking to you. It has been sending you signs, some so subtle they feel like whispers in the wind, and others so undeniable they shake you to your core. Synchronicities, repeating numbers, dreams that feel more real than waking life, or even an unshakable inner knowing that something is shifting. If your connection is particularly strong, you may have felt the echoes of their energy reverberating through your own, experiencing emotions that don't seem to belong to you but are deeply intertwined with theirs. There may have been moments where, out of nowhere, an overwhelming sense of sadness or longing washed over you, or perhaps you suddenly felt lighter, as if something had lifted, a reflection of their own internal shifts. For a while, it might have seemed as though there was an unspoken agreement that the best course of action was to part ways. Whether it was spoken aloud or simply understood on a soul level, there was a period where separation seemed inevitable, even necessary. But life is never stagnant, and neither is the journey of the soul. The winds have changed, and the experiences your person has undergone in this time apart have reshaped them in ways they never anticipated. What once confused them now holds clarity. What once seemed too abstract or overwhelming to comprehend has now become a reality they can no longer ignore. If you choose to reconnect, you will likely sense a transformation in them, something subtle yet profound. Where before there may have been resistance, hesitation, or even outright denial, now there is a quiet acceptance, an openness to truths they once feared. The energy between you will no longer feel like two souls misaligned, struggling to meet each other on the same wavelength. Instead, you may find a resonance, a harmony that was previously missing. Their journey has not been easy. There were times of deep confusion, moments when they felt lost and uncertain, unable to distinguish between what was real and what was merely a projection of their own fears. When the changes first began within them, it may have been frightening, like waking up to an entirely new world without a map. Spiritual awakenings, especially those that happen unexpectedly, can be disorienting. They may have resisted, fought against the pull, clung to the comfort of their old ways, even as their reality was shifting beneath their feet. But something within them has broken open, and now they see. They understand, in a way they never did before. They recognize that you are always tuned into something greater, something they couldn't quite grasp at the time. And while it may have once been a source of misunderstanding, of distance between you, it is now something they approach with curiosity rather than fear. They're learning to pay attention, to trust the signs rather than dismiss them, to embrace the unknown rather than turn away from it. If you decide to cross paths again, the connection you share will not be what it was before. It will not be a return to the past, but the beginning of something new, a dynamic built not on confusion and uncertainty, but on the growth and transformation you have both undergone. Whether this means rekindling a relationship, deepening a friendship, or simply finding peace in knowing that your souls were always meant to meet in this lifetime, the choice is yours. But one thing is clear: they will never be the same person they were, and neither will you. This journey has been one of expansion, pain, healing, and revelation, and now, as the universe continues to guide you, the question remains: what will you do with the knowledge that things have changed? This transformation they are experiencing has ignited an intense longing to communicate with you, not just on a surface level, but in a way that truly allows them to be seen and understood. They are navigating emotions that are both exhilarating and unfamiliar, and as they embrace this shift, they feel an almost magnetic pull toward you. It's as if their soul is recognizing something profound in this connection, something that feels both divinely orchestrated and deeply personal. This realization both excites and unsettles them because, for the longest time, they have pushed away or ignored this part of themselves. But now, they can no longer deny it. What stands out to them most about you is the space you hold for them, the way you see them, not as someone who needs fixing or changing, but as a human being worthy of love and understanding. That kind of acceptance is rare, and they are starting to realize just how much it has meant to them. So often, in relationships, people become entangled in expectations and projections, losing sight of the fact that each person is on their own unique journey. Yet, with you, there has always been a sense of freedom, an unspoken understanding that personal growth and connection can coexist without one overpowering the other. This is something they have never truly experienced before, and it is awakening something powerful within them. As they reflect on their past, they are beginning to see how every experience, every relationship, every challenge was leading them to this very moment. It's as if life has been preparing them for something bigger, something that they are only now beginning to comprehend. And at the heart of it all is you. Whether you realize it or not, you have played a crucial role in their self-discovery. In many ways, they feel as though they have been searching for you all along, even before they had the words to articulate what they were looking for. Now that this awareness has surfaced, they can't help but wonder if you feel it too. Do you sense the same pull, the same undeniable connection? These questions swirl in their mind, but rather than allowing uncertainty to paralyze them, they are choosing to step into their power. They are embracing their masculine energy with newfound confidence, standing firm in their truth rather than shying away from it. This is a significant turning point for them, and while they are still navigating the depths of their emotions, one thing remains clear: they want to share this journey with you. When you next cross paths, you may notice a different energy about them. It won't necessarily be loud or dramatic, but something about their presence will feel more grounded, more sure. Their words may carry a deeper weight, and the way they look at you may hold an intensity that wasn't there before. This shift within them is not just about self-discovery, but about creating a space where emotional intimacy and trust can flourish between you both. They hope you will be open to seeing them in this new light, to receiving them as they are now. And while there is always a degree of hesitation, because vulnerability is never without risk, they are willing to take that chance, hoping you will meet them in this space of authenticity and truth. The past between you and this person remains somewhat shrouded in mystery, whether it was a painful separation, an emotional rupture, or simply a divergence in your spiritual journeys. Whatever the reason, the connection you once shared became strained, distant, or even seemingly lost. Yet time has a way of revealing deeper truths, and they are beginning to recognize that the end may not have been as final as it once seemed. There is a growing realization within them that while you both walked separate paths for a time, those paths may not be as far apart as they once believed. They are now holding on to the hope that what was broken can be mended, and that this time, things could unfold differently, with more wisdom, patience, and mutual understanding. Through all of this, you chose to honor your own path rather than getting caught in cycles of negativity, conflict, or regret. Instead of allowing yourself to be pulled back into situations that no longer served you, you focused on your own growth, evolution, and healing. You made the conscious choice to keep moving forward, embracing each lesson that life presented you with. And in doing so, you became an even stronger, wiser, and more authentic version of yourself. You did not lower yourself to old patterns or engage in dynamics that drained you. Instead, you cultivated resilience and self-respect, allowing yourself to become the person you were always meant to be. And now, as if drawn by the very energy of your transformation, this person is slowly finding their way back toward you. They approach with caution, unsure of how they will be received, wondering if the warmth and openness they once knew in you still remain. They sense the shifts that have taken place both within themselves and within you, and they realize that they can no longer take the connection lightly. What they feel now is not just nostalgia, but a deep, newfound clarity about who you are and what your presence in their life truly meant. There is a desire within them to reconcile, not in a way that reverts to the past, but in a way that aligns with who you both have become. They hope that this time a foundation can be built on a greater sense of awareness, emotional maturity, and shared respect. Whether you choose to reopen that door or continue forward on your own journey is entirely up to you. But know this: your growth has not gone unnoticed. The energy you have cultivated within yourself is powerful, and it has begun to shift the dynamics around you in ways you may not even realize. Whatever happens next, trust in your intuition. Honor your own evolution, and remember that the love and respect you have for yourself will always guide you to what is truly meant for you. That's where I'll leave this reading. If this message resonated with you, don't forget to hit the like button before you go. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future readings. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.